What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Supergirl Season 3, Episode 13, Both Sides Now. So this is the last one before it's taking a little break until March, which is kind of a good thing, because that means they probably won't have a Valentine's Day episode, because frankly, this entire show is all about Valentine's Day and love and romance. Sorry, I had a little break there. So let's get right into this one. Yeah, let's first talk about Mon-El, because, like I said, they're turning this into a freaking love triangle and they're making it easy. No challenging thoughts or concepts here. It's easy. See, Mon-El and Imra suddenly have this little fight out of absolutely nowhere. Like, she says something, he says something, all of a sudden they're angry. Oh, they're so frustrated with each other. I'm just like, oh, I wonder what that's about. Could it possibly be that they're having a little bit of a spat and maybe Mon-El still has feelings for Kara? Maybe that has something to do with it? Well, Jean sits him down and he's just like, let's talk about this. And he just starts spilling his guts. And, oh, it turns out Mon-El and Imra didn't actually marry for love. They married because they had to. What a coincidence! So, yeah, apparently they married to unionize two warring countries or something like that, like Romeo and Juliet type of thing. I don't know. I kind of wish they died like Romeo and Juliet at this point, but anyway. So yeah, apparently they didn't actually marry for love, and of course he does say, oh, but after time, eventually we did find love between each other. Oh, but being here with Kara, it just brings up so many emotions that I thought were dead, and I thought I'd moved on. I'm just like, of course you haven't, because the show writers won't let you! I just don't get it. I don't understand. No, actually, I do understand. I think I fully understand what's going on here. What happened was, at the end of last season, the show writers were like, alright, let's do something challenging. Let's do something that it actually makes people feel something. It makes them hurt a little bit. Because that's what a good drama should do. And I'm not all for drama. I personally think the whole romance drama on the show is just pointless when you should be focusing more on Supergirl. But you know what? It was focused a bit on her because it was the love of her life. I'll give you that, okay? He leaves. That's heartbreaking for her. I understand what you're doing with this. But then it's like all of the fans of the show, all of the 10-year-old girls who just want to see Supergirl end up with her favorite boy toy, they were all like, I can't believe you did that with Mon-El. You better bring him back or else I'm not going to watch the show anymore. And they're like, oh crap, guys. We can't lose all of our 10-year-old girl fan base. We can't do something challenging. Let's bring him back. I know, let's bring him back with another woman. It would bring him back, so it would keep them happy for now. But it would still make it challenging because he'd have a woman in his life that he truly loves. And let's not make it something stupid where it's like, oh, he married her to get over Kara. No, let's make it something where he actually had a lot of time to think about it. Let's make it something interesting and realistic. And then the 10-year-old girls again. I can't believe you brought Mon-El, but made him with a wife. I can't believe you did that to Kara. You better break them up right now and put him back with... And they're like, okay, we'll stop. All right, so let's have it where he and this woman actually didn't marry for love and he still feels something for Kara. Let's do that to keep everybody appeased. And it just makes it stupid. Sure, all the 10-year-old girls who want to see Kara and Mon-El together, they're happy. But all the people who want to see a good show with good quality writing, we're pissed off. Because it's not good. It's cliched. It's been done a million times. It's something that I don't care about. Because you're making it so easy. I fully expected, honestly, for Imra to be the third member of World Killer just because that would be even easier. Oh, she's a bad guy. Well, Mon-El obviously can't stay with her now. But now they're just making it where it's like, oh no, they didn't actually marry for love, so it's going to be easy for Mon-El and Kara to end up together. And I don't care. By the end of it, Imra's telling him, Brainiac and I actually had some mission we came back here for. It's time to let you know what that mission was, so I assume it's going to be something that really breaks the trust between them, and Mon-El's just going to be like, okay, well, Kara, I'm going back to you now. I don't care anymore. I do not care. I was slightly interested because their story was actually somewhat interesting. They were coming from the future. They were trying to save the future world or something along those lines, but now it just feels like, no. Now it's just turning into that love triangle that I did not want to see. So, onto the main story for this one. We see the team finds the second member of World Killer, this Julia woman that we saw. And so they're trying to figure out, what's going on with her. So they break into her house. It's all intense, and she's just sitting there listening to music on her headphones. And then Supergirl gets her attention. And she's freaking out. She's like, okay, Supergirl, is that you? And freaking out. And then Alex just goes crazy for a minute, just out of nowhere. She's just like, don't move anybody, don't even move a muscle. And that causes the woman to freak out and turn into her world killer, which is Purity. And I'm just like, what was that about with Alex? What was that? She just all of a sudden freaks out for no reason and causes the change. And it doesn't make any sense. Well, they capture her, they bring her into the DEO, and Supergirl's trying to question her because she saw Julia before she saw Purity, kind of like with Sam and Rain. She saw that there's somebody else inside of there. And I'm just like, okay, so this could be interesting. We see, after what happened with Rain, we saw her kind of realize that maybe being alien and being uncaring wasn't the way to go. So now she's trying to get through to Julia, but Alex, at every turn, is blocking her. She just keeps shutting her down. She keeps coming in with snarky comments to sort of provoke Purity even more. And it's causing Supergirl to get frustrated. Of course, she's not saying anything. Nobody ever says anything to Alex for some reason. Even whenever she provoked her in the house, nobody looked at Alex and is just like, seriously? She looks at everybody. She's like, yeah, that could have gone worse. I'm like, you're the one that caused it, you dumbass. But anyway, so she keeps provoking Purity. Supergirl's getting pissed, rightfully so, and tries to talk to her. And Alex just like, look, we tried your way. Now we're going to do mine. Did you really try her way? Because it felt like you never really gave her a chance to try her way. And so then she tries to talk to Purity and tries to threaten her. Purity starts digging into, oh, you have a hole in your heart and you've been trying to fill it. Now you're just a broken human. And Alex starts crying, and of course she's talking about Maggie because we can't stop talking about this for some freaking reason. And so she leaves, Supergirl's talking to her, and all of a sudden Purity's little crystal starts vibrating and then blows up for some reason, and it shuts off the power in the DEO. Wynn is sitting there looking at it, and he, for some reason, doesn't do anything. He sees it start glowing, and all of a sudden he goes to look at something else, and all of a sudden it glows even more, and then shuts off the power. I'm just like, Wynn, come on. He still had some funny lines in this one, but that one scene, I'm just like, Wynn normally at this point would see that and go, okay, that's not good. We need to do something about this. But instead he just kind of walks away until it does something. So Purity then escapes, manages to get out of the DEO, and of course, at this point, everybody's just like, well, we got to track her down. Rain, Samantha, is with Ruby at the time, ice skating, but then all of a sudden gets the thing in her head that just turns her into Rain. So then she leaves the ice rink, which of course Ruby is now freaking out about, and then is told by the hologram lady that another one of her members, she says sisters, so it turns out it is going to be 3 girls as the member of this World Killer group, which, once again, I just kind of feel like they're doing this just to sort of emphasize, ooh, women of power are awesome and guys suck, so we're not going to have any guy villains because that makes sense. But yeah, so Samantha Rain is going to track her down while the team is also trying to track her down, and so Supergirl and the team get there and to find her in the subway, manage to stop her, but not before Rain shows up to take her away. But we see in the middle of the fight a few different things going on, which I found pretty weird. First of all, we see Supergirl is not nearly strong enough to defeat defeat Purity, which I found interesting because against Rain, she at least held her own, even though Rain was eventually stronger. In this one, it was like they weren't doing anything to her, Kara or Mon-El. They were doing absolutely nothing to her. And I honestly thought Rain was going to be the toughest of the bunch, but it seemed like Purity was a bit tougher, in my opinion. But yeah, so they're fighting. Jean-Jean is trying to hold up this pillar to keep it from collapsing, and for some reason he never tries to put it back on until the fight is just over. He's sitting there holding, he's like, it's okay, I got this, and then the fight ends and he just goes, and it just stops, and I'm like, wait a minute, you couldn't have done that entire time to go help them? And then the other thing that happens is, while Julia Purity is choking out Supergirl and threatens to kill her, all of a sudden, Supergirl says something that sort of sets Julia back off, and so the eyes change back for a minute to Julia and then go back to Purity. And Alex sees that, and it's like, Julia, I know you're still in there. Look, you tried to save, blah, 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 does this whole speech, and Julia just like, okay, fine, I'm done. And then lets her go. It's like, please, I need help. And then Rain shows up right then. For a second, I thought maybe Rain was going to kill Alex. There was a chance. She, like, knocks her down. She's like, I'm going to kill you now. Once again, the same exact line she delivered to Supergirl in the mid-season finale, which, okay. I've never known a villain to just go, I'm going to kill you now. Except in, like, stupid cartoon, shows. But sometimes that's what this feels like. But of course, Julia says, okay, take me, just don't hurt her, and so that's what happens. And then we get to the end of the episode. Julia's being turned back into purity by the hologram lady, and we get to Kara and Alex. And this is the one I wanted to focus on the most because, frankly, it fits the show so well. So I'm seeing Alex throughout this entire episode just completely go against Kara, talk about how you can't trust her, she can't be reasoned with, even though Kara's trying to reason with her and understand her. And I'm just like, what is going on with her? Why is she like this? And instead of making it something interesting, okay, go back to the Rain fight. Before that fight, Alex was saying to Kara, hey, go be alien, just go stop her. So Kara takes on that mantle, which she has been all of the first half of the season. Just very uncaring, unfeeling, just like, I'm going to stop her. And so she takes that on. It doesn't work. She ends up in a coma. Well, in her coma, her subconscious, she realizes that doesn't need to be the way to stop her. And so since then, she's been very, let's care about people. She asks Livewire and the Fear Girl for help because she sees the good in them. And that's what Supergirl does. Well, Alex, on the other hand, has been very untrusting. She's been very, just put offish on everything. As soon as we see Julia, she's very put off by her and just threatens her and causes her to turn into purity. And so we get into that, and she's just completely against Supergirl. She's not telling her why. Well, go back to the Rain fight. What if seeing Supergirl beaten by one of these monsters, one of these world killers, what if that's put her off? What if she's seen that and she doesn't want to see her sister go through that again? That would be something interesting. Maybe she just has a completely different ideology than Supergirl. Maybe Supergirl tries to see the good in people, but Alex has just become very cold and uncaring this season because, whatever reason, like I said, seeing her sister beaten, maybe she's just seen so much in this job, that's why. That could be interesting. What do they go with? Maggie. Because everything's about relationships in this show. Everything. It's very simple. Oh, she's uncaring. Oh, she doesn't want to help Julia. Oh, she doesn't trust anymore. It's because of Maggie. It's because of relationships. Because that's all this show's ever about. It's like, I never thought a character not on a show could cause me so much frustration until this show. I've never seen a show where a character that was on the show that I didn't like left the show and then was still pretty much on the show because they never stopped talking about this character. I don't understand. Why can you not let this go? It was the dumbest relationship aside from Kara and Jimmy in the first season, which was an entirely different writing team, I think I'm correct about that. That was the dumbest relationship ever, because it was just pretty much, oh, you're two attractive people? Oh, well, we like each other now. We have nothing else in common, but we like each other because of that. That was a stupid relationship. Alex and Maggie was just point blank, no subtlety about it, all about, hey, we support gay relationships. Fantastic. Who cares? Don't make your show political. Don't make it about supporting something. Make it a well-written story. And it's like they can't let this one go. They can't let this relationship go. They can't let it go that, oh, we've got a gay character on our show and we broke up their relationship and now it's heartbreaking. And guys, let's talk about her. Let's talk about this. Let's make this the center of attention. Make it something interesting. Make it something challenging. Make it something that everyone can relate to. Instead of just isolating most of your audience because you're focusing on stuff that only a certain part of the population can relate to. I'm not talking about the homosexual relationships anymore. I'm talking about just relationships in general. You know how many people tune into a superhero show to watch relationships? The 10-year-old girls, like I said, the ones that just like, oh, I ship that character and I ship that character. Oh, Olicity all the way. Oh, Barry and Iris are awesome. Oh, Mon-El and Kara. Oh, we got to do that. Those are the people that tune into your show to watch that. And that accounts for maybe half of your viewership. The other half of it want to watch a well-written, good action superhero show. And we're not getting that with this. And this is the perfect example of why. Because you have what could be an interesting concept turned into, oh, it's all about relationships again, guys. She can't trust because Maggie broke her heart. Nobody cares. Well, some people care. I don't care. Most of your audience probably doesn't care. Maggie is off the show, and yet we've talked about her for the past 3 episodes. Which tells me either she's coming back or they're going to use this to do something with Alex's character that's probably even more stupid. Maybe another girl's going to enter her life. She's like, ooh, new girlfriend. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is, but frankly, I'm tired of it taking up time. Mon-El and Kara and Imra, I'm tired of that taking up time. I mean, God, what did they spend like 10 minutes with John Johns talking to Mon-El about the stuff going on? And this is right after Purity attacked the DEO and escaped. 10 minutes later, they're like, oh, hey, it's Purity. Maybe we've got to go do something about this. You spent so much time on that. Doing what? Talking about it. Why not do something? Why not have something happen? Instead of just talking and talking and talking and talking. So, yeah, the final of these 4 episodes that they brought, for some reason they did 4 and now they're taking a break. And they've just all been so the same. Like, I've enjoyed certain parts of it. I've enjoyed what's going on with Mon-El and his team. I want to see more about that, to be honest. They haven't talked about it since like 2-3 episodes ago. I'm disappointed by that. Maybe this mission that Imra's going to talk about, maybe that'll be interesting. The rain stuff can be very interesting. Honestly, I think, at the end, Sam is talking to Lena because Lena had to go get Ruby. And Sam all of a sudden turns into Rain in that one point because Lena told Ruby about what's been going on. And she's like, how dare you? You had no right. And turns into Rain. She's like, silence. And then all of a sudden turns back into Sam. And she's like, what just happened? And so Lena figures out what's going on there. That could be interesting. Honestly, I think Sam's story has been fairly interesting for the most part. It hasn't been the best thing about the show this season, but it has been fairly interesting to see this single mother who's got a daughter all of a sudden realizes that she is an evil being secretly. That's something that I haven't really seen much of, and they've handled it fairly well. So there have been things about this show that I do enjoy, but they don't get nearly enough focus. It's always like little tidbits thrown in every episode before they go back to what they love to talk about, which is relationships. And that just doesn't build a foundation for a good superhero show. The only one that I've seen it do it well, as far as the CW is concerned, is Barry and Iris. And that's just because they gave them a firm foundation, they gave us something to care about, and they did a good job of writing them as 2 interesting characters with a lot in common, a lot of, not charisma, chemistry. They did a good job of writing them together, and they haven't done that on this show. None of the relationships that I've seen have been 2 characters that fit well together. It's just 2 people that, oh, hey, you look attractive. Hey, you look attractive too. Let's hook up. I don't understand. I don't understand why the writing team can't see how boring and bland all of this is and just keep giving us the same crap every single time. So, that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this episode? Do you agree with me? Do you not? Let me know. We can talk about it and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Supergirl reviews. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.